Welcome to the Health Revolution, the program that shows you how to have a life of vibrant well-being. In a world full of noisy health trends, we bring you clarity. We reveal the science-backed strategies that truly work in a sea of fads. We explore the physical strength, emotional resilience, and mental mastery. These are the keys to an enriched life. Join us for inspiring interviews with champions who've conquered life's health challenges. Are you ready to unlock your potential to live with vitality and purpose? Then join the Health Revolution. I'm your host, Adriana Morrison, health and fitness expert, speaker, and a mom who understands. Let's embark on this transformative quest. Together, we're about to change the game starting now. The information provided in this show is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Viewers should use their own discretion and consult with a healthcare professional for personalized guidance and recommendations. Welcome, everybody. You are watching the Health Revolution. I'm your host, Adriana Morrison, and we are thrilled that you are joining us today. Please don't forget that no matter which way you're tuning into us, do not forget to hit the subscribe channel little button so that we can stay connected to you. Also, at the bottom of your screen, you will find a tab for show episode notes. Make sure that you keep that in mind. There's some important reference information for today's episode. And we are getting right into it. You know, when we're stuck in a rut in life and we're trying to grow, oftentimes we don't know what's holding us back. And we hear a whole lot of talk about empowerment and shifting beliefs, but what does it mean to have a conscious shift? And how does that play a role, not only just in the mental side of how we are executing life, but also the physical realm? How does it connect the entire body? So today we're about to find out, because it's never too late and we are never too old to learn about what it means to embody empowerment. My guest today is someone who does just that. We're going to learn from her. First, take a look at this. Meet Sharon Sammut, a dynamic entrepreneur from Australia and a holistic health practitioner with over 18 years of experience. After successfully operating a construction company, Sharon transitioned to holistic health and personal transformation. She is now a registered holistic health practitioner dedicated to empowering individuals to overcome limitations at a conscious level. Sharon founded EmpowerHer, the Wellness Collective, a program and community designed to help women unlock their full potential in health, wealth, and relationships. Her work focuses on aligning body, mind, and spirit to create a life of abundance and fulfillment. Through her transformative guidance, Sharon inspires women to reclaim their power, align with their true essence, and thrive beyond their limitations. Today, we will explore Sharon's journey and discover how to shift conscious limitations to achieve personal growth and well-being. Sharon Sammut, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate you. I know that you are on the other side of the planet, but always such a strong connection to have. And I know we connected right off the bat when you and I first spoke. And I'm curious, can you share with us, journey from the construction world to holistic health? Those two couldn't be any further from one another. What led you to be a mover and a shaker in the construction world and decide, you know what, I'm going to pivot this way?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I always had a love for houses, construction, and business. And when I met my husband, we both shared that same passion, that same drive. So we decided, yep, that was what we were going to do. And during the time of COVID, and I've always been really interested in holistic health. I went through a time in my early 20s when I healed myself of disease using alternative medicines. So I always had a natural passion and always studied different therapies as well as allopathic, obviously, but in conjunction with, I always felt really supported using both. And there came a time when I felt there was a different avenue for me. It was a really deep, almost nudge in the soul that I needed to explore more down this field. And I came across the modality of PSYCH-K, and I started practicing that on the side of running the construction company, and then went on to become a natural holistic health practitioner. And from there, my world opened up, and found a deep love for empowering others. During my time in the construction company, I was very much focused only on the business, and I didn't understand the whole health model. I found that I had neglected a lot of my own self-care, and I was in disease. I was in survival mode, and I discovered tools that allowed me to align with my truth, to align with the essence of living in abundance across my health, wealth, and relationships. And frankly, it's our birthright, and we should all be living in abundance across all areas of life.
Being a woman in construction, I've got to say, you obviously not only does that tell me that you're a self-starter, but you stepped into a role of leadership, and you were, I can only imagine the type of professional and then of course personal breakthroughs that you've had. And so then it's easy for me to see, and for viewers to see, how you took the initiative to really connect the two, that it's time for me to focus on health. Was there a specific trajectory that told you in the middle of the grind, I really got to pay attention to me? Because we get lost in that in
Yeah.
society.
Yeah, well, this is all about the work I do with a lot of the people I work with as well. And it is about finding the purpose, but not just on a physical level, on a soul level. So finding that purpose, and being on the road to that. And the road to that often means that sometimes we take some diversions, and we exit here and there, but everything that we do is preparing us for that journey, for that soul purpose. And that's what it was like for me. And I would go into the office often, and I still have a lot to do with housing and investment. It's the other world of me. But at this point, I just felt it was a really strong nudge in the physical body. It was sensations that I was feeling. I was quite depressed as well every time I went into work. If you want to use, yeah, I don't often use the word depressed, but if, and I had physical pain, often physical pain, and I didn't know where, and I wasn't looking after myself. And it was just a knowing, a deep knowing, intuitively connecting with my feminine energy, that there was a different path for me. And that path wasn't in the company. And I had to take that responsibility. I had to move with conscious intention towards what I was feeling. And every day I unfolded more of me. I peeled off those layers and started unfolding more of me. And it led me to the holistic health path, because I saw a lot of what I wasn't doing for myself. And that really showed me the light, and also showed me the limitations that I was holding on to from a past that no longer served the person I was in the present moment. But it was just comfortable, right? We get comfortable, and we just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, because that's what we know. But then the nudge was so strong that I couldn't ignore it. So it was up to me then to start exploring more of that purpose, more of my mission, more of who I was as a true person. And I felt that I'd let that go. In the construction days, I let go of who I really was, and it was really only about the cash flow and nothing more. And that wasn't fulfilling my purpose. And I felt that really, really strongly.
Did you know when you were in construction, or when you started that chapter, that did you know when your purpose was clear, or did you did you discover it along the way of,
No, I discovered, look, there's a lot. I'm naturally a great organizer. I do love business, and there was a lot of elements that I loved about that and still do. But it was more just learning about who I was more as a whole person, connecting with my whole self rather than just parts of myself, and aligning those, and just being really comfortable or becoming comfortable with that journey of discovering more of who I was, meeting new people, listening to new things, being around different energies, really kept unfolding more and more of myself. It is a journey, but I didn't have the tools, right? So, so for me, it was not only discovering myself, but it was discovering what was going to work and resonate with me to bring more of me out. And then when I was looking and searching and listening to some incredible people, it was just aha moment after aha moment. It was a pulsing of the heart, saying, "Oh my God, this is exciting. This is for me," and taking those feelings and doing something with it. So not just knowing that something's bringing me joy and ignoring it and going back to my comfort zone, really taking action on the intuition, on the feelings, and you just keep discovering more.
were you scared to pivot, or were you like,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this company, it was the foundation of everything we created as a family, our homes, our cars, our clothes, everything. So having the courage to one day walk up to my husband and say, "This is not for me anymore." That was huge. It took me a long time to be able to say that. But then to my surprise, he was feeling the same. So, but so we both had a bit of a pivot, at that, from that time in our life. So yeah, it was just, yes, it is hard, but again, I was navigating a lot on my own. This was a journey of my soul on my own. A lot of things didn't serve me anymore, and being honest about those things, yes, it's going to be hard, but again, I didn't have the support. So and I think that's really important, because when you're around like-minded people, that journey is 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 a little bit easier. It's always going to be times when you're unsure, but we take the step forward anyway, don't we? Because it's when we move from that zone of being comfortable, and we're going to get a little bit uncomfortable, and our body's going to go, hey, hold on a minute, what's this? This is new. This feels unfamiliar. So there's going to be the feelings in the body, and the thoughts in the mind. Yes, and it is going to be a little bit tough sometimes, but overall, when you have that knowing and you have those feelings and you're moving consciously towards them, it does get easier.
you mentioned finding your purpose, and that obviously that's very integral in every step you take. How did you know it was time to seek and to answer what your purpose was?
Yeah, the feelings. Again, like I said, I was feeling a lot of pain in my body. I wasn't healthy, so I knew that I wasn't living. I was in disease, actually, and I knew that I wasn't living the life, because every day I was thinking about only problems. It was always just trying really hard to push myself. Nothing flowed for me. And it was just a knowing, honestly, it's that really connecting with your true self and your essence, and the knowing that there's more, but then also taking the action towards that. It was me, for me, it was more about my biofeedback. So my body telling me, in a way of the universe sort of knocking and saying, hey, you're not really on the right track. So it's almost like obstacle after obstacle till I veered off in the right direction, and then things started flowing easier. I started feeling better. I started feeling more joyful. I started looking at my whole self as a whole person. And it's like when things are flowing and You just know that this is right for you. And I just kept on that path. I just kept on that journey. I kept on meeting amazing people. I kept feeling and knowing that I was more than a physical body, and I was strongly guided at this stage. And I just knew by how I felt in my body, in my physical body, and in my spiritual body, and mentally, emotionally, that I was on the right track. And then I kept pursuing that.
So did you know where you were heading, or were you more of the I can't wait to see what's around this corner or what's down the way?
I always had a natural ability to connect with people and to make them see. And this was from a very young age, to, bring to consciousness, to bring to awareness what they might not be seeing for themselves without actually saying it. So, it's one thing to say, hey, you should be doing this, but it's another thing to have discussions with people, hold space, and allow them to see that for themselves. So I always had that natural ability. And when I discovered PSYCH-K, it literally changed my world, because back then I wasn't really even aware of what a subconscious mind was and how powerful, and just realizing the power in this. And it just got me so excited, just so excited to know that we can shift these programs, because it's exactly what a subconscious mind is. It's all programs, our walking, our talking, our heart beating.
Can
And
can you explain what Psych-K is to our viewers who may
yeah,
not?
absolutely. So PSYCH-K, and so I'm a PSYCH-K facilitator, and that's how I started my journey to becoming a registered holistic health practitioner. So PSYCH-K is a modality where we recognize something that isn't serving us in our life. So it might be a thought, it might be a behavior, and then we ask ourselves how we want it to be instead. And then we use muscle testing to connect with the subconscious mind to see if we actually believe that. And if we don't believe that at a subconscious level, the way we want it to be instead, we go through processes. And again, we muscle test, and we come to the belief that this is actually how we want it to be, and then we take the action accordingly. So in a nutshell, PSYCH-K is about recognizing those limitations, coming up with a new way of being, and using a process to download that as a program, a new program in the subconscious mind, which becomes a program that we live by when we're taking the action towards it.
How new is Psych-K to society? Because it seems like a newer modality that I know I didn't know about it in detail prior to you and I connecting.
Yeah, I believe that it's been Rob. I'm pretty sure it's been at least 35 years, so it's not new.
Okay.
Yeah, but people like Bruce Lipton, if he's quite a well-known, I think, person these days, but he started talking about it a lot, and I was listening to him whilst I was going through my journey, a lot about the subconscious mind, epigenetics, and all that sort of stuff. And he mentioned one of the things he mentioned was Psych-K, and I'm like, oh, I really need to look into this. So it's been a while. It's been at least 35 years. So yeah, it's definitely a beautiful process, very simple, very effective. Again, like anything, like any modality that we seek, any healer, any doctor, it's about being at that frequency of wanting that change in your life, and then coming to the awareness of what's holding you back, and then working towards the action that's going to get you to your shift, to make you take that leap from having that limitation to having a new way of being. And it's, yeah, like they refer to it as the quantum leap. So moving, and all that means is moving from one energy to another energy. And, it's that time where you do all this, you practice all these modalities, you become aware of limitations, you change them, and it's the consistent work you do every day, the things you practice daily in your everyday life, that one day you look back and you're just like, okay, look how far I've come. So it's taking those leaps in life.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay right there. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this. Hi everyone, welcome back to Fit Bites with Adriana. Today let's talk about simple stress reduction techniques to help you stay calm and balanced. Life can be very hectic at times, but there are easy ways to manage stress effectively. First, try deep breathing exercises. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale through your mouth. Repeat this several times to calm your mind and your body. Another great technique is practicing yoga or stretching. Now, these activities not only reduce stress, but also improve flexibility and strength. Even just a few minutes a day can make a big difference. Taking a short walk, especially in nature, can help clear your mind and reduce anxiety. Physical activity releases endorphins, which are natural mood lifters. Don't forget the power of mindfulness. Spend a few minutes each day meditating or simply sitting quietly, focusing on the present moment. Now, this can help reduce stress and improve overall well-being. Remember, managing stress is essential for maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Incorporate these simple techniques into your daily routine and feel the benefits. Stay tuned for more Fit Bites with Adriana. Welcome back to the Health Revolution. Our guest today is Sharon Sammut. She is a holistic health practitioner, and we have been talking about shifting the conscious limitations and all that that implies, especially when it comes to empowerment and elevating our health. And Sharon, before the break, you were talking about making the connection, understanding what the body is telling you. You were giving some really great examples. Now, how do you define holistic health? And let's start there, because I want to start diving into some of the elements that allows all of us to understand that connection, that mind-body connection.
Yeah, so holistic health is about spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical bodies. So a lot of us have been programmed with the belief that we are no more than a physical body. And in holistic health, we look at all four energy bodies being in alignment, being spiritual, connecting to yourself and others, connecting to your true essence, and knowing that you are more than a physical emotional bodies together. And then of course you got your mental body, which is your thoughts, your learning, your focus, and then you got your physical body. And what we say is that we look at the downward causation model, and this simplified means spiritual, mental, emotional. Where there is a block, where there might be a gap in one of those energy bodies, generally manifests in the physical. Okay, so when we have pain, it's our physical body telling us that something isn't right somewhere. And we tend to ignore this because, again, we've come to the belief, we've been programmed with the belief that in order to fix a pain, we need to take something for it. So materialism. So, and that's just the way we've been programmed. Now, not to say that we shouldn't be taking anything, but we can be really over emphasized. We can really be overbalanced in these physical aspects when it comes to even overeating, over exercising, over supplementation, excessive amounts of trying to, or not having the belief that your body has a capability of healing itself. So this is called biofeedback, when we are when we experiencing something at a physical level. It can even be having injuries or facing injuries often. It can be pain. It can be so many things within the body. And that's telling us that something may not be connecting in these other energy bodies. For me personally, the emotional body was something I had to really work on. I came from a past of childhood trauma, which is a whole nother segment, but just in a nutshell. And I held on to a lot of emotions that were negative, and rather than allowing myself to feel those emotions, there was a lot of me resisting. I was a busy person. I kept myself busy so I didn't have to feel those emotions. So, and not knowing at the time, obviously, that resisting those is giving them more energy. So it's still amplifying them, even though we're resisting them. So for me, it was a lot of understanding these emotional blocks within myself. And once I started the PSYCH-K, allowing myself to feel these emotions rather than resisting them, because then I would be able to get past them, my physical body was starting to balance itself out. So yeah, basically and then it was always about learning. So my mentor, I was stuck in the same cycle for 18 years of going into the same job, and I wasn't allowing myself to learn. So then there was that mental body that I wasn't really focusing on either. And because with spirituality, growing up was for me very much focused on religion. And I saw a lot of discrepancies with what I was learning. So I totally let go of that as well. And just because I thought, well, I don't necessarily believe in what you're telling me, so I'm no longer spiritual either. So like many of us, I had a massive emphasis on the physical body. And then when I started understanding that all these bodies are connected and it's about living life in abundance across all of these energy bodies, paying attention to every one of these energy bodies. And I like to call it manifestation with a whole house mindset. So what this means is that we are balanced across all these energy bodies, which is building a solid foundation for us to continue growing, to continue evolving as our true self.
So the goal is to have manifestation, and then so as we understand it, the four energy bodies, the mental, spiritual, physical, and then the emotional. How do you know, can you have abundance when one of those is missing?
You can experience the abundance, but a foundation that is not solid will crumble. And from personal experience, I crumbled. Um, but it's just, again, it's about having the awareness. It's that simple. So after listening to this, someone might be like, okay, I feel like a little bit of pain, and you might have a repeated thought that keeps coming up that's negative, and it's about understanding what that might be connected to. So this is very foundational. This is very foundational stuff. So you can experience abundance in life, but I really don't believe that you're going to experience abundance across your health, wealth, and your relationships if you are simply living as a physical body.
So
Because, yeah, go ahead.
so question for you is, if someone has conscious limitations, that
Mhm.
maybe they are in the present and they're aware, maybe fearful or concerned about not being able to grow, to maybe their hands are tied behind their backs, figuratively speaking. how do you how do you create the abundance and have the awareness? If for example, some people might say, well, it's very simple, and yet it's so hard to embrace and trust the process. What do you say to the viewer who's watching that is struggling with this, and with that awareness of that that this is conquerable, that they can live a better life?
Yeah, well, it's about firstly having that conscious awareness. So what are the thoughts holding you back, and what are your perceptions on the way your life is supposed to look? So these are things that we explore, because perception is everything, and perception comes from our beliefs. Our beliefs come from our programs that are being downloaded a lot of the time without our conscious awareness. So as a child, we generally spend the first 7 years in living in hypnosis. So, like they say, we're like a sponge. We absorb everything. That's exactly what happens when we're children. And then society, our environment, then we take on new programs from that. So we can always change it. But again, your beliefs, your perceptions are coming from your beliefs. So what is your perception on why you can't move forward? What are those thoughts that you're repeating to yourself? Are you being honest with yourself? Because why can't you take a step forward? What is it you are telling yourself? Once we become consciously aware, we bring it to our conscious awareness. So we now are becoming aware of these thoughts. We can start dismantling them. And that's as simple as it is. So the next time something comes up, say you've gone and judged this person over here, whatever, it can be anything. And you're like, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be thinking like that. I instead want to be thinking this. You're now consciously aware that your behavior needs to change. So now it's up to you to take the action accordingly. So the next time you find yourself in a similar situation, remember how you want it to be instead and take that action. And over time, we continue to do this. We're rewiring the brain, and we are downloading a new program to live by at a subconscious level. Once we download this at a subconscious level as a program, as a new way of being, then we don't have to think about it anymore, because this is who we are now.
Can we be ambitious and stuck in conscious limitations at the same time? Can we be?
Yeah, absolutely. For me personally, I don't like to use clients as examples, because these are personal journeys with us, but I will use myself as an example. I was stuck in the belief that, and I was always been a very ambitious person, but for me it was very much about making money, because I saw my parents lose everything. And that was a fear for me, that I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to lose anything. So for me, it was go, 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 make money, make money, make money, because you don't want to risk losing everything. And that was my focus, even if it meant not being healthy, not being a present mum, not being a present wife. My main focus was making that money. So yes, I was very ambitious, but I was stuck in a lot of limitations that didn't allow me to live my life in abundance, in health, in wealth, and in my relationships. So for me, I had the business side, it was all sorted. And for me, it's about working on these other things that were going to balance me in my life. And that to me is true success.
Out of the four energy bodies, where do you see society stuck? And then in particular, where are we as women stuck or hung up on not being successful in mastering a particular energy body?
Yeah, that's broad. But in general, physical body is where we're stuck. We're seeing a lot of people overbalance in the physical, being we're doing everything. Let me just start this. I've got 1,000 things coming through my mind right now. But let's say we're not feeling good. We are really emphasizing on the physical body. How can we fix it? Let's talk nutrition, let's talk exercise, and all these things are important, but I'm talking overbalance, overdoing it, over supplementation, over medication. So we're over beauty products. Like we there's so, I don't feel good today, so I will go and maybe have some cosmetic treatments that will make me feel better. And it will make you feel better, but it may not make you feel better for a long time, only a short time. So we are stuck in the physical. As women, we are probably stuck across many of those energy bodies. We are doing a lot as women in this day and age. We are really trying to stretch ourselves as far as possible, and often we are neglecting the spiritual, the mental, emotional, and the physical aspects. So it's really about finding that balance across all the four energy bodies. And we work on those one at a time if we have to. For me, and for a lot of the people I work with, there are activities that allow us to experience alignment across those four energy bodies. For example, it might be going for a walk in nature. This is our connecting our spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical bodies. And these sorts of exercises, being present in the moment, because remember, everything only happens in the present moment. Being present in that moment, doing these sorts of activities for ourselves that allow us to balance those four energy bodies is so critical, because we are doing so much in this day and age.
So Sharon, so about the energy, I'm curious about the different energy bodies and what we struggle with as a society. What do you think? What is the difference between society struggles and then what you see women struggling in any of the energy bodies in particular?
I think that we are all on a very unique journey. And a lot of people that I work with come from different journeys, different life experiences, different beliefs, different perceptions. So saying that it's one area, um, it's really tricky. But as a society, I do feel like we are very much overbalanced, overemphasized on the physical body. And again, this is because we're being programmed with the belief that we are only a physical body. And this is so much here. But as women, like I said, we're stretching ourselves really far. And even though the journey is unique for all of us, I do feel as a majority, most women that I speak with are lacking a little bit of all energy bodies. Again, and overly emphasized on the physical body. What can I do at a physical level to make this go away? What can I take? Who can I go and see? And a core thing, and if you look at all my pages, a core thing that I always speak about is everything we need is within us. So if we are present and we have
And
the belief,
with that, the fact that everything we need is within us, why is it so hard to grasp?
because again, we've been programmed to believe that we need to go take something or see someone to fix us. Um, so that's the bulk. Um, I do see that a lot. And the spiritual body is another thing that so many of us have lost touch with, because our spirituality is really all about coming back to ourselves, understanding who we are as a person, what makes us feel good. And, being balanced across a spiritual body means that you're highly creative, that you're clean, that you're clear, that you're unlimited. And this is what we are first before a physical body. So, when you think about what it means to be balanced and being highly creative and unlimited, and that's what it means to be balanced in a spiritual body. this is who we truly are, because we are all energy. Everything is energy, and that means we are all unlimited because energy is infinite. And I really think we need to start getting in touch with who we are and stop relying so much on everything external that's going to make us feel better. Scrolling, why is she able to do that and I'm not? Honey, you're not her. Who are you? Get in touch with your essence. What makes your heart sing? At the beginning of this, we spoke about me and my journey. And finding my path was all about listening to what made my heart sing, not what society was telling me I should do. In fact, everyone was telling me I was crazy because I was already successful. Why was I leaving something so successful? It didn't make my heart sing anymore. It wasn't aligned with who I am in the present moment. It was a hell of a lot of beliefs that someone taught me or told me that I had to be a certain way. And it didn't feel good anymore. It's really important. Start listening to what's making your heart sing, what's making you happy, and go with that.
So, question for you. In the case of someone, say a woman or even a man, for example, who is facing a serious diagnosis and they thought that they were living in abundance, but then obviously um, concerning health news can really just stop anyone in their tracks.
Absolutely.
What would be the first step to really get that connection and be proactive when suddenly you're faced with mortality or the uncertain, the unknown about the future?
Yeah, well, firstly, I'm not a medical practitioner, so I'm not about to go and say to someone, stop taking medication and go do this. Everyone is on their very own unique journey. Yes, I think there's a lot of evidence out there to suggest that these diseases are coming from emotional blocks. A lot of these diseases are manifesting in the physical. Okay, so they're starting with a block and they're manifesting in the physical. There's a lot of information out there that people can obtain. Start looking at the information and start reading and looking deeper into how you might be able to heal or how you might be able to use a different modality in conjunction with what you're doing. Like, we're seeing a lot of this now, but again, I'm not about to give medical advice, but in saying that, the disease manifests from something, whether it be toxicity, whether it be emotions. It's come from somewhere. So be courageous and maybe start looking into those things and know what feels right for you. Always come back to your core.
Makes complete sense. We're going to take a commercial break. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this. Thank you so much for watching The Health Revolution. Our show is growing, and it's all thanks to viewers like you. No matter how you found us, please hit the subscribe button so we can stay connected and continue to deliver amazing content to you.
Introducing Launchpad, the perfect partner to help you launch your dream project to the world. We know that time is of the essence, and we're here to help you make the most of it. With Launchpad, you'll get access to the most advanced digital tools and strategies to take your idea from a mere concept to a fully fledged success. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or a seasoned pro, we have everything you need to make your mark in the world. Launchpad, your ultimate launch partner.
We can take our own health into our own hands. Okay, so we'll kind of expand on that. So I take a lot of vitamins every day. Long before I started this business, my wife has had me taking my vitamin C, my B complexes, amino acids every single solitary day, and I still do, even though I still do IVs as well. But when you take vitamins orally, you get 15 to 20% of them. Some people get less because they have autoimmune issues. Some people have a lot of inflammation issues, whatever the case may be, so they don't get the absorption that they need to be getting. So they don't get their immune system built up. Doing the mobile IVs, I'm able to take your immune system, I'm able to naturally boost it.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution. We're spending quality time with Sharon Sammut. She is a holistic health practitioner, and we're talking about how to break through those conscious limitations that we put upon ourselves, the connections it has with the four energy bodies, the spiritual, mental, emotional, and the physical. And then where do we grow from here? And Sharon, I'm curious. So you work very closely with women, those who you're able to help grow in this direction. Let's talk a little bit about how you do just that. What's it like for a woman to work with you? How do you start the process, and what all do you cover?
Okay, so basically, I have moved away from the one-on-one space, and because for several reasons, but more so that I created a program, and in this program, rather than using only one specific modality, I've incorporated everything I've 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 learned over years and years and years and years. And what was really important was I found that it's so important to be around like-minded people to support you in your journey, to be at the same consciousness, at the same frequency as what you're trying to achieve now. So there's a lot of people wanting and feeling the need to make these shifts. So for me at the moment, to work with me, I have developed EmpowerHer, the Wellness Collective. EmpowerHer program is the foundation of the community, but together as a community, we work through the program for whatever it is that that individual is manifesting in their life, be it in health, be it in wealth, be it in relationships, whatever the journey. It's about taking conscious intention, a conscious action towards that manifestation. And together we do it in a supportive community.
So this is a group setting, and obviously it's for it's strictly for women. Is that correct?
At this stage, yes.
Okay. And then some of the elements, what are some areas that you like to dive into in the beginning portions when a woman is joining your group and growing her roots in getting to know who she is?
Yeah, I'll take a step back. Actually, you can work with me one-on-one as well, but the bulk of what I'm doing at the moment is inside this community. So basically, the Empower Her program is all about crafting that desire, and I have the tools. So whatever it is you're working on as an individual, like I said, everyone is on their own journey, and whatever it is. So we're crafting tools. I've got meditations. I've got theta meditations that are moving you from being problem-based to solution-based, because I found that was when my biggest shifts happen and when a lot of my clients have the same shift. So I've got theta meditations I've produced, and theta is a brainwave that just before you're falling asleep is when your subconscious mind is most suggestible. So this is when it's going to take in most of the information. So we work through that, crafting that desire, becoming solution-based rather than problem-based, and really honing in on what it means to move consciously towards that desire, using gratitude to open you up more. Those nighttime practices. So everything, and having you as a thought leader in your life, moving with conscious intention towards whatever it is your desire is. And then it's about understanding the whole health model, how we can implement immediate growth milestones, how we can implement those activities to balance the four energy bodies like we've just spoken about. And it's about recognizing and dismantling those limitations at a subconscious level that's in line with whatever your desire is, whatever you're consciously moving towards. So when something comes up, so many people can talk about manifestations, but they don't talk about what if a limitation comes up for you? What do you do? Just revert back to where you were before? No, we recognize this. We become aware of it. We move past it. We take the quantum leap. We become that version of ourselves. And then it's about present, in the present moment, moment, and being her now, acting like her, talking like her. And here we're making subtle lifestyle changes that are keeping us at the frequency of our desire. So removing some toxicity from our life to allow us to be clean and clear. And all of this in alignment, working through all of this, and then having a supportive community of women that are working through the same or similar, and on a similar journey. And it's just about staying at that frequency of your desire, because we need people that are at our frequency to keep us resonating there. Resonating, what I mean, resonating with that desire.
How does a woman know that she is growing and what are some indicators that within the community that she is reaching some benchmark milestones? What are some?
She's practicing it every day, and it's becoming natural to her, because just like an athlete, a swimmer, the repeated strokes, they keep taking those strokes every day. They practice until they don't have to think about that pattern anymore. So it's about just doing the consistent action, making it part of your life. And then, like I said a little bit earlier, you will look back when you're taking this consistent action. It might not feel like you're taking leaps and bounds every day, but you're feeling better. You're feeling good. You're feeling vibrant. You've got more energy. These are indicators. Your body's biofeedback is telling you, hey, this is feeling good. I'm aligning with my heart. I'm feeling joyful. These are all indicators, but the biggest indicators when you do look back, in 6 or 12 months and go, whoa, I've just dealt with that situation so differently than I would have, 6 months ago. So it all comes to the awareness and just keeping moving, because if you keep moving, you're going to get there. Okay.
Absolutely.
It's when we stagnate and we choose not to grow is when we start feeling low on energy, down, and we're not productive anymore. We're just, we'll just do this. There's no energy behind it. We want to find that energy. We want to find that connection to ourselves, and we want to keep moving consciously towards it.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this. Welcome back to the Health Revolution. Welcome back, everybody. Sharon Sammut is our guest today, holistic health practitioner. And Sharon, where can we find you in the virtual space?
Instagram, Sharon Sammut, as you can see down there. Go to my website, reach out. Yeah. If you go to Instagram, it will connect you to everything. I think that's the easiest thing to do.
And what do you have going on for the remainder of 2024 and then going into 2025?
Yeah, so really getting hundreds and hundreds of women within this community and sourcing amazing guests from all around the world. This is right now my biggest focus. Inside this community, it's not just the program and the support. There's a lot of practitioners coming on. We're having sessions on there, yoga sessions, breathwork sessions. We've got skin specialists on. We've got medians coming on that's doing session, connecting spiritually with everyone. And then I'm connecting with so many women that have healed themselves holistically and are wanting to share their journey on how and what that means for them and what they've healed. And I myself is just getting so inspired every day by talking to these people. Just the belief that they have in their ability to heal, and just making that their focus. And the stories I've heard are just incredible. So right now for me, this is what it's all about. And I'm in the process of working with a clinical hypnotist, and I'm coming up with about 10 theta meditations, which I briefly mentioned earlier. And this is all about dealing with specific problems. So the one I have now included in the program is about moving from being problem-based to solution-based, but we're actually honing in on specific problems like health, manifestation, spirituality, public speaking. There's a whole heap of stuff there that we're going to be addressing. So at the moment, I mean, there's only a few months left of the year, which is absolutely crazy. But at the moment, that's what we're working on. Yeah.
Fantastic. A whole lot of information. Sharon Sammut, thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing all of these nuggets for women who feel empowered and to know how to connect with you and all of that. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Adriana.
And for all our viewers, of course, you can find us on the web at thehealthrevolutiontv.com. That's where you can subscribe to our newsletter and to check out all the updates that we've got going on, because we have a lot coming. And then in addition to that, you can always email us for any show ideas that you'd love for us to cover. Upper left-hand corner of your screen is our QR code. And so that's for easy and convenience. And then, of course, as always, every Tuesday and Thursday, you can find us on the Achieve TV channel, on E360 TV, and any of the distribution channels, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. That is all the time that we have. Until next time, take care of yourselves. We will see you soon.